All right, friends. Let's do a little bit of a pre-World War III live stream here on PrepperNow because, well, there's a lot going on, and I don't have enough time tonight to do stuff because I'm playing the rock and rolls. But I do have all the stuff coming in, and it's coming in real time. And the reason why is because, well, it's evening time over there, and the area of concern. And so, because of that, a lot of information is coming out right now. So, if I were to go on later on tonight, it'd be kind of the dead time, which is a good time when you have everything tabulated. I don't have it. So, this is all going to be real time stuff. But there is a lot of stuff going on. Israel is doing a lot of maneuvers in protection of their people. So I'm going to just start to go through some of this kind of crisis report style, but then we're also going to talk a little bit. I know this is not the normal. I'm probably giving some of my mods headaches by not exactly having a concise time of when I go on. So to Miss Jean, thank you so much for being here. Uh, let's um, let's get started on all this. Let me find the places where I get a lot of my information. They're all kind of going off right now. I guess we'll start with Insider Paper. I do stuff from them. They're good, but they're also um, I don't know. They have to pay the bills, so they do some like stupid advertisement stuff too on Telegram. But I get it. But honestly, a lot of what they put out there is good, and it's plaintive, and that's what I like. I don't like political bents. I like things that are just stated kind of normally. So here we go. So they're talking about, of course, what happened in Sydney. Six have passed away. For those that don't know, a guy went on a knife spree, I guess. One of the injured is a 9-month old, and the mother has died since. So, out of respect, I will not get sarcastic with it, but it was a use of a knife. So, do understand that certain weapons aren't always the go-to, and you can do a heck of a lot of damage with other things. So a lot of crazy stuff going on in Australia. For those that don't know, also they're trying to get rid of cash, and people are really angered. So they're going and they're trying to take all their cash out of the banks, and they're trying to break down the system a little bit. Um, I don't know how that's going. Of course, you talk to the officialdom; they'll tell you that everything is just fine and normal, and you don't have to worry about that. Uh, but if you talk to the people, they're really fighting mad about all this because I mean, there really isn't a reason to go cashless. There's always a reason for cash, and they want to tie it in with the digital identification. And the problems over here in America is those identifications. Well, you need those to do things like tabulate your popular sovereignty on who you think should rule the people. And I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, and of course we know to tie an identification to that is well, anyway, moving on. The guy that did it is not he looks like an Australian, looks like a big tall white guy. So I don't know what the motive is. They're I'm sure they're doing all the investigative work and all that, but just a really terrible situation. But again, I mean, if people want to do damage, they're going to do damage. It really doesn't matter what kind of stops and things you put into place. So, Iran guard sees the MSC vessel. I forget the name of it. It's done by it's an Israeli billionaire who owns it. It was going into the Strait of Hormuz, and it's a MSC Aries. Now that I'm looking at it, and because of that, well, some people were thinking that maybe that was due to it being a part of the response that Iran is supposedly going to give to Israel. Now people are questioning that. They're not sure. There has been a lot of activity today, though, from the Israelis on things for the people in the population to do, things that they should consider, and different rules, um, kind of on par with Rona. on gatherings and everything else. But we'll get there. We're gonna tell you all about that. Airlines are canceling flights, restricted use of Israeli and Iranian airspace. I know Air France has been avoiding Tehran like the plague. Israel has urged the EU to declare the IRGC as a terror organization. So we'll see what happens with that. Joe was supposed to go to the beach, but he cut that short. Poor guy. And I think that is all from the insider paper. Oh, and then Israel is closing schools nationwide over these security concerns. Part of their plan of action to stop a lot of this, or at least try to mitigate it. Um, let's see. Yeah, the MSC Aries was captured in the Strait of Hormuz. That's a little different than what else has happened. And it was Iranian special forces that did it. So that, again, that's even different. Wasn't the Houthis. They seized the ship, and it's a bit of a game changer because of that. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Qatar are helping Israel bypass the blockade through land routes. Okay. And now, because of that, Iran has also cut that off through this action today. Um, Hezbollah has cut the Mediterranean route off with drones as well. So this is a bit of a complete and total blockade, or at least an attempt to do so. And a lot of the IDF and the people in officialdom in Israel have come and told, the defense ministers and everybody of importance in Israel that they should do a blockade in response to Gaza, which of course would not really be a good look to the international community. So, tit for tat going there. Israeli media has now declared that the seizure of the ship was only a threat to the United States. So, using that as leverage as well. There's a possibility for electronic warfare. For those that don't know, if you are up on modern warfare and fifth gen, electronic hacking and everything else, that is a major concern. There was a major hack of Linux systems a few days, actually in late March, I think it was the 30th, that 90% of the world's servers and almost 90% of the world's Android phones are on this Linux operating system, and they were all basically open for hacking. And they're updating all this stuff now and trying to dial it back. And for those that are Apple people, a time machine kind of thing, where they take the operating system back to a previous version that didn't have this open back door. But still, a lot of people are worried about that. And let's see what else. Yeah, Joe's supposed to go on vacation to Rehoboth, but now he's back with his team, the national security team, and of course they're monitoring the situation in the Middle East, and of course Russia too. It's funny how this goes. It's like Israel will flare up, Russia will flare up. Israel will flare up, Russia will flare up. It's almost like they tag team it. So that's a problem. All schools in Israel are going to be closed tomorrow on Sunday. Israel media, or actually, I guess it would be, no, it's not, maybe they're talking Sunday. All schools are closed in Israel this week, I guess would be the main thing to do it. All the officials, the politicians are supposed to not leave. They're supposed to remain close to their posts. Foreign Minister Katz is supposed to go to Hungary and Austria. He's canceled that. A lot of people are coming in from reserve duty and being called back. That is going to create a lot of problems in the major airports. Schools, of course, are closed. and the entire Israeli IDF are basically on complete and total uh, watch right now, on full alert. So they've been saying, the last 72 hours that Iran's going to do it today, tonight. It hasn't happened. A lot of people think that Ramadan, the Feast of Eid, EID, is they're going to do it afterwards. It's a big holy celebration for the Muslim faith. Um, Probable if they are going to do something major. They think it'll be 100 to 200 different missiles, drones, one-way drones, if you will, and other things that are going to be chucked into the sky to attack from multiple directions. They say from the north, the west, and the south, and of course even the port of the west, places like in Gaza, the Gaza Strip. So high possibility that they will do this in the early hours of Sunday. That's according to Al Jazeera. So ahead of all this, Netanyahu has moved from his house in Jerusalem and is now in a fortified bunker, whatever that may look like. So that is a pretty big concern. IDF and let's see, Gallant and Halevi, the two heads of this whole emergency cabinet, they're holding situational awareness meetings in real time. And the Jordanian Civil Aviation Authority, air traffic was affected as a result of jamming in the GPS system, which led to the use of alternative systems. Jamming has been going on major in this area in the last 72 hours, all part of the disruption and everything else as they try to make as much of a problem for all involved as possible. So let's go to Mr. Amir Sarfati on the ground in Israel, and let's see what he has to say. Today, he talked about the Sydney thing. We talked about the MCS Aries, and now he's talking about, now what we were talking about a couple days ago is how they couldn't scrape together 40 hostages, women, children, elderly. So I think now at this point it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that there really aren't any, if any, or many hostages left. So that means that there's no bargaining chips. There's no reason to hold off or not take the gloves off, which I think is what's kind of Israel is doing. I think Israel is basically, and Amir Sarfati talked about this. He said this post on the crisis report earlier. Basically, at this point, they if they do something, and it's expected they will, they are going to use it to their advantage. And when I mean advantage, I mean they're going to hammer Tehran, Iran, whatever that may look like. There will be a response, and it'll probably be even larger. And that's the biggest problem, is that this is an escalation, and it is it's not toning down. But again, like, why? In the Israelis' mind, they're probably like, yeah, no hostage chips, as Daryl Calhoun said. There's no reason to hold back for in their mind. I'm not, again, when I say this, I'm trying to play devil's advocate from all sides. I'm not saying this is good, bad, or otherwise. I'm just giving you the full picture, and then you're smart and you can figure it out. Let's see. People are leaving Lebanon. A lot of different groups are being asked to leave Israel, Lebanon. If you're in one of the embassies that is Israeli or Iranian, you're asked to be removed to more sheltered places and stuff like that. So they're worried, of course, for attacks on embassies. Let's see right here, almost there. Trying to get everything up to the moment so you guys have an idea. So stock market is red currently. So if the stock market was going today, it would not be in a good way. You're probably going to see $2,500 gold in the next couple weeks to a month, if not sooner. And you're probably going to see $95 to $100 barrels of oil in the next couple weeks, if not sooner. So that's another thing that is weighing on this. I mentioned this earlier. Yesterday, my wife, she went shopping at Trader Joe's. We love Trader Joe's, and there's not one really close. And so when she has to go and do things in the populated parts of our area, which would be DC and Baltimore, she goes and stops by Trader Joe's and gets stuff, preferably vegetables and organics and stuff like that, because they have them and they're pretty cheap compared to other places. She got 2 bags filled yesterday. I'm talking 2 like full on grocery bags. It was $160. I mean, we are pretty okay and put together in our house, and even I'm like, we can't sustain that. So the inflation and everything is, the pressures from oil and the pressures from everything else. It's really getting tough out there. A lot of people are just having to go without. Or one person put in the comments that they used to buy food weekly. Now they only go every other week, and they try to stretch it out. This is a very common theme. I mean, if you are feeling the pain at the grocery store, put a 1. If you're feeling pain somewhere else in your life, maybe it's the your travel time to work and the gas that it takes, put a 2. If you're just doing great and hunky dory and everything's fine, put a 3 in. Tell us about it. So we are. I would say again, like my wife works from home. Um, we're doing okay. We're gainfully employed. We're lucky. And it is, yeah, Mr. Tanker says 1. Alan Paworski says 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, it is nuts. And it's not going to get better. I think that's the biggest problem with what I'm seeing with that. As you know, I dabble in economics. I'm able to teach rudimentary. Kevin Grip is doing good. That's great. Thank you, sir, because he supports the channel. So I'm glad I'm glad you are your help here with me, sir, has been awesome, because you're helping me. So uh, William Penn says he's doing all right because he's been planning for years. That's why you prep. So yeah, that's good. It's good to see that not everybody is in some kind of a dire situation, but a lot of us are having stuff. I told my wife today, she likes to, something comes up that we need, she will buy it off of Amazon, because we've always been able to do that, or wherever she gets it, she'll buy it pretty much immediately. Like we're having prepper stuff. We're redoing our preps and where we put them, because the mother-in-law is slowly moving out of her farm, selling it, and she's going to build a new one. And she's got this whole plan to basically make it so she's mortgage free. Very smart move. However, a lot of our like super world ending is going to, happen. Preps and stuff are over at her house, the bug out farm, and she's not going to have a place for them, at least in the interim. And so we're coming up with a way to store them here at our place, which I kind of like having them on our place anyway. Uh, Sarah, you know what? I just saw something come over the wires. When I get done with this thought, I'm going to go look into that. Okay. I saw that about Ronald Reagan. Something's going on. Um, and of course, that's in my area too. So, yeah, the biggest problem I see is that it doesn't seem like it's relenting in any way. And, I mean, it's tough. So let me see if I can't find this Ronald Reagan thing. I just saw that. Um, let's put in Ronald in the search. And here we go. One plane just left Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. That's all it says there. It says D.C. Ronald Reagan Airport abandoned like never before. Okay. Here we go. Oh, no, no, no. No, that's a Ronald Reagan report. Those are all on Ronald Reagan. So let's see right here. Latest flight radar says that Ronald Reagan Airport is currently planes on the airfield, but it seems actually no flights are departing or coming in. Okay, and that was 12:20 p.m. So that was 2.5 hours. And since then, I think only one plane has left. So that could be a problem. But that's all I've got there in my little search engine. Let me go to my other places to see if that has come out in real time. Thank you, Sarah, for tipping me off on that. That could be a real problem. And I'm not seeing it anywhere there. Let me go to the real time or the comment sections. If you want real time, go to a Doom post like on Zero Hedge or Telegram or whatever, and go into the comments. That's when you get the real time. People that see things first and put it in there. I've been known to grab some intel or two from the comment sections. But yeah, you can find out a lot in the comments. That's why it's great that YouTube has comments and all that. All right, yeah, major disturbances in GPS in the systems in Iraq. Jordanian Civil Aviation is reporting a significant disruption in GPS. That is a problem, a big sign. Here we go. Middle East Spectator. I follow this guy. Israeli cabinet will urgently meet at Camp Rabin military base in Tel Aviv. So they're going to the bases to meet. Public beaches closed. Netanyahu going to the bunker. Emirati plane destined for Ben Gurion Airport has returned to Dubai mid-flight. Something is starting to happen, from what I'm seeing. It doesn't mean anything. It could be just false information and everybody's being protective, but there's a lot of strange things going down with flights, planes turning around, and then of course Ronald Reagan, for some reason, effectively looking like it's not shelling out any planes right now. Here's Medman. This guy is awesome. Said an Emirati plane destined for Ben Gurion has returned. So 55,000 Israelis have fled the country in the last few days, fear of the response. And I think that is all in real time. So yeah, nothing I'm finding that gives an explanation for this Ronald Reagan thing. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we'll just go back to chit chat. Thanks for all your support, folks. I'm busy tonight. I don't have a lot this afternoon, but I coach on Saturdays. So we won in overtime. That was good. Then also my wife decided, hey, let's get another animal. So last night we got a puppy, and not just an animal, a puppy. So all the little puppy things have been happening, little pee spots and poops on the ground and teaching and Porker now, for those that know him. He gave a little bit of an introduction to himself by chasing her around the yard. But she's super cute, super sweet. She's a golden retriever. And yeah, she's going to be a good dog. She's already very smart, follows me around. Kind of seems to be like trending as my dog. You know how like the dog kind of initially gravitates to one in the family. This dog is gravitating towards me like nobody's business. So anyway, yeah, it's yesterday when I got off work, if you said you're gonna have a puppy in the house by 10 o'clock at night, I would have laughed in your face and said no way on earth. But anyway, yeah, there's something's going on. It's 9 o'clock time in this area, in the area of concern. Okay, and this is kind of covered darkness. That's important. 9:55 right now. So Tel Aviv is 7 hours away. I usually do 6 to 7, depending. So right now, anything can happen. It's dark out, and there's a problem. Now, I think right now the pressure has built up so much that it might be, I'm hoping that whatever it is that happens is a bit of, I hope it's a nothing burger, to be honest with you. I really do. But if it is a major response, from here, basically everything just escalates up. And that's the biggest problem. Iran is too much pressure from their militants all over, from like the resistance in Iraq to Hezbollah to Hamas to all their proxies. I mean, they just have too much built up right now, pressure on them to do something, you know. So they are going to do something. It's inevitable, I think, at this point. Now, the major thing that they think is going to happen, and then last night, if you heard the reporting this morning, late last night when I was looking into stuff, they were talking about major movement of military assets by Iran, 200 missiles, one-way drones, and other things were getting put into the ready position. And what they see is a kind of major coordinated attack on Israel from all different sides. Hezbollah in the north, Hamas in Gaza, the resistance of Iraq in the east, and Syria and Iraq, and then, of course, anything from the south, maybe from the Houthis or whatever, coming up and kind of completing the circle. So that is the biggest problem for all of this is what does Israel do? You know, because again, if they, that's it's like World War One. World War One, everybody was saber rattling and talking and everything, and it was kind of like everybody was double dog dare into going after it. Now, if you have read things about World War One and got real nerdy, which I haven't really done, but I've kind of done, especially now that I've taught it for about a decade. You can say war in the Balkans. You can say a lot of different stuff. There's moneyed masters in the background, same as it ever was. That really fomented that war. But at the end, it was a lot of like "I dare you to" that really got the ball rolling and got people into the position of fighting in a world war. So Scrappy Cat's got a good point. Shabbat is over as well here in Israel. So that means that they can get back down to business. Yeah. What happened? What? How does Israel respond? I guess is the big question. And we don't even know how Iran is going to respond right now. I mean, I'm sitting here with my ticker going on in real time, and it's a lot of things. People are concerned all over about different stuff, but Jordan has temporarily closed the airspace to all arriving and departing and transiting. Strange movement right now in the southern direction of Iran. I mean, it looks like it looks like the big show is about to begin. Yeah, airspace clothing to all are closed to all incoming and outgoing transiting civil air traffic Al Arabiya to Jordan. Let's go to this channel. These guys are more political science, but they have good stuff as well. Says the U.S. has issued a travel warning for Israel with Iran believed to be imminent and fear that Gaza war could spread, and that is the big fear. Officials said it would be challenging for Israelis to defend it against an attack of that magnitude, and while it held out the possibility that the Iranians could opt for a smaller scale attack to avoid a dramatic escalation, their retaliation was believed to be imminent. Iranian retaliation expected at any time, and this just came out at 2:58. So this is 2 minutes old. Better protected from incoming rocket fire by the country's Iron Dome system. Latest guidance noted that travel by United States government employees in Israel could be further restricted with little notice as things develop in the Tinderbox region. All U.S. embassies in the Middle East were put on high alert and required to hold emergency action committee meetings. Diplomats in Lebanon and Israel they were specifically told not to travel to certain areas within these countries. If Iran does choose to strike Israel directly, it could involve a complex missile and drone attack similar to the one Iranian forces launched against Assad oil facility in 2019. They will try to do it on the military or some military asset. Um, this is from, I believe, Bill Shine is his name, CIA guy. But the question will be if the damage, if there would be any injured people, killed or injured. I think it was the potential for a huge escalation. I think he is correct in that assessment. So that's the thing right now. There, not a single plane currently at Tehran Airport. That just came in. Strange movement in the south. So yeah, we are. I think we're at. I think we're in the red zone, folks. Fly Dubai, flight to Tel Aviv, turn back around. Jordan has closed its airspace. Arabs report disruptions in the GPS system. Yes, all of this right now is your real-time updating of what's going on. It seems we're front row to major things about to happen in the region, and what we look like tomorrow when all that and the dust is cleared, I don't know. Clash Report, excellent channel, says very clear signs that Iran is about to attack Israel. Israel is bracing for strikes. So I guess calling this the PreWW3 live stream was a good pick. I felt it. Something told me, folks. You know, I don't believe I've got intuition or anything like that, but sometimes I just feel things, and I'm like, you know what? I need to turn on the video right now because, well, the timing too. I knew that 9, 10 o'clock in the area is when things really start to come out as people are getting ready to go to bed and they give out the true feelings. But excellent point by Scrappy Cat about it potentially. You know, you've got Shabbat ending, you've got Ramadan ending. I mean, it is a lot of different things in the environment are making it so this can go down right now, and that's the biggest problem. So let's see what this one says. Hamas rejected the American proposal for a prisoner deal and ceasefire because it didn't meet the conditions. Well, it's because you guys didn't have enough hostages. Jordan has closed its airspace, established that, and let's see. Russian channels are still kind of. Oh, all right. See, this is when I know things are about to really get going. When the Russian channels start talking about Israel. This is from Lord of War, which is a major Russian channel, 20,000 subscribers. Hebrew media. Some of the teams present at the airports were informed about cancellation or change in flight schedule. So a lot of the airports in the area are basically shutting down stuff right now. Still no word on why Reagan International in DC is doing it, but we are here, and that is about it. So let's see what Entre Guerras has said. Dígame, mi amigo. According to Al Jazeera, citing a U.S. official, possibility that Iran will launch its response as early as early morning on Sunday, early hours on Sunday. And that is it. I think from here, folks, if I were you, I would I'd be keeping your ear to the ground. So we are seemingly on the precipice of the big show. So yeah, all the airspace shut down, embassies cleared, flights being canceled, meetings in bunkers, prime ministers going to bunkers, all that stuff is going on right now as we speak. Kevin Grip, thank you so much, dude. Kevin Grip is probably, I mean, incredible support of the channel, and I'm able to do a lot of things because of support from him and you. So thank you. Like I said, I just want to give you guys good information. That's really it. It's important, especially right now, because there's so much money in the waters. And then, of course, officialdom wants to make you think that the only thing you should be receiving is stuff from their mouths, and sometimes their mouths are not truthful. So, yeah. And on that note, a great way to support the channel. It's $2 a month. And if I get something, I'll put it onto my. Okay, sorry, I just got it from War Monitors, an urgent meeting. I'll get to that one here in a second. A great way to support is becoming a member here on YouTube. It makes them like me more because they're getting a little cut of something. It's $2. It's less than a coffee, and it adds up. It really does help to be a member support. And I give member posts in the background, just to to keep people updated of real time stuff. Thing is, with the subscription services, I can get real free speechy. Here, I gotta, of course, make sure it's kosher, if you will. So, PA 5x5. Thank you so much, dude. That's really, really awesome. So yeah, we are there. Jean W, that was you too kind. She just gifted. Yeah, check out the membership now. And the good news is when people do this, thank you, Jean. It means that I got to post more on the background. But normally I would be posting. Now I'm just reading this in real time, and it's fascinating because it's all kind of it's like when you're getting ready to see a show, like a big rock show or music show or whatever, and you can hear like the people in the background setting up and getting all the things in place and the lights turning on and off. And I mean, that's kind of where we are right now with this whole thing, with the exception of instead of it being some incredible band that we love, it's going to be World War III. So, hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong and just being hyperbolic. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'd say right now, folks, if I were you, I'd keep my ear to the ground. Um, I have got to start getting ready to do my music thing. But it says here, American officials told Al Jazeera high possibility of Iran will launch in the early hours. Jordan has closed its airspace, and Israeli mini cabinet has been informed of an urgent meeting at 12:30 tonight, secret location under the Ministry of War building. That would be their main bunker, and people are thinking that tonight it's going to happen. So that would be in about the next 2 hours. That'd be about 5 p.m. Amir Sarfati said, in case strategic military targets will be attacked, Israel is considering the use of electromagnetic weapons against Iran. That is the first I've heard of that. He also said the Israeli cabinet will meet half past midnight, and the ministers have been informed that will take place in the underground bunker in Tel Aviv and not the conference room of the prime minister's office. So there's pretty much intel right now that tonight, sometime around after 12:30 or so, there's going to be major something something. People wonder too. They're like, well, why do they telegraph? Why do they, talk about all this stuff in time? What people don't understand about like conflict is there's major logistics that go on with it. Major, major, major logistics. And that's why they like the drones and stuff. Drones are much more easy to do. But when you're getting missiles into place and troops into place and people shifted around in the safe spots and bunkers and stopping planes and doing air stops and the air and all that, I mean, that takes a lot of logistical work. It takes a lot of communications. Also, you're trying to be protective of the information that you have. So because of that, it's when they telegraph this stuff, it's just because that's the only way to get it done, the only way to get things logistically done. So, this one is from Megatron. He said, cyber war has already begun. Residents of Iran today received messages to prepare for a war in what has been determined to be a cyber attack by the United States and Israel. Iran's cyber attack shut down Israel's power grid, affecting cities like Tel Aviv and Netanya. So we are, War Cabinet will convene at 03:30. And I think that, what was the last one? Medman, that's my guy. He said Jordan Aviation says the closure of the kingdom's airspace will continue for several hours. The decision will be updated. So, all right, friends, I think that we're going to cut it off right there. I really want to thank Kevin Grip. I want to thank Gene And I want to thank PA 5x5 for your gracious support. I want to thank all of you for your gracious support of the channel. You know, it's not easy for me to get here sometimes, especially in the last couple days because I had a lot of life going on. But when I come here, I want to give you the best of the best. I want to give you is just down the middle. This is what's going on with as good of information as possible. Because as I always say, I got the smartest subs on YouTube. Be supportive of the other prepper channels are doing great work out there. All of them. You know, I don't have favorites or anything, but I frequent a lot of them from Bear to Magic to Angry to Poplar to another 15 or so that I can't remember right now. But I really appreciate all of your work. If you get a moment, go check out the movie Civil War. I don't have time for it currently, but I do plan to see it. I'm trying to make a matinee happen tomorrow. I watched Forward Observer. For those that are not familiar with Forward Observer, Forward Observer is military guys that run a intelligence kind of platform. And Mike, the main guy, went and watched the movie and just assessed it from an intelligence analysis mentality. And I'm just really good the way because he looks at it in a way that I don't think many people would. So main thing he said was that they're trying to get down to DC from the New York area, but they can't just go down 95 because Philadelphia is basically a war zone, and so they have to go around via I think Pittsburgh down through West Virginia and then to the east. And he was talking about like on the ground intelligence and talking to refugees and all this great stuff. Great video from him. But yeah, if you get a chance to check out Civil War, please go check that movie out. I heard it's good. I heard it's not political. I heard they don't focus on Republican, Democrat, or anything like that. They just provide a scenario where there's a CW going on in America, and it's from the view of photojournalists, and this is what they got to go through to get the information out to people. And it's just shows what a real war zone would look like in America, sans politics. So, all right, friends, God bless you all. Please hit the like button, do the subscribe thing if you are new here. For those that are not new here, and your continued support is so awesome. And yeah, all right. Sorry, I just got another breaking, but it's a lot of redundancy. And yeah, keep your ear to the ground. There's something about to go down. Okay. God bless. Stack, stock, stick to the plan. Keep your head full when your powder dry. And I appreciate you coming by PrepperNow. And check out, of course, my other links in the description of my all my other places where you can find me. PrepperNow out.